So then guys, today is a video that I've been wanting to make for a long time. I want to compare to you a Windows laptop to a MacBook for all you developers out there, and also people who are using, say, large language models too, so LLMs, if you know what that acronym stands for. Well, you do now because it's large language models. And I want to compare two machines here, what about the same sort of price, and what the difference is and what kind of performance we're going to get between both of these. So what we actually have here is, like I said, is a MacBook Pro, and then also we got here an Asus ProArt, and I'm going to do a load of benchmarks for you in different sort of coding languages, and we're also going to do some in LLMs too, some benchmarks there too, so this is going to be really, really awesome to do. But first of all, let me go over the specs then for both these machines, and let me switch them around for you, and then we'll get started with the benchmarks. So to start with, we have the M4 MacBook Pro, and like I said, this has cost me $2,200 because it has some upgrades inside of it. What we actually have inside of this MacBook Pro is we've got 32 gigabytes of RAM inside of it. We've also got 1 terabyte hard drive. This has been upgraded because obviously having more extra RAM is definitely better for you sort of developers out there. You definitely know that's a really, really good case for that, to actually have that for that kind of upgrade out there. And the same here with the Asus. What I've got inside of this is I've actually got a 1 terabyte hard drive, and then we've also got the latest and greatest AMD AI9 370 chip inside of this. Is a 12-core version of this, and then we've also got the RTX 4060 laptop edition graphics card inside of this with 8 gigabytes of dedicated RAM too. But like I said, we've got 32 gigabytes of RAM inside of this, and then obviously that 1 terabyte hard drive. Now, for all these tests today, I am actually going to be running both these machines on battery. So I'm not going to use power because at the end of the day, you know, this is what these are designed for. They're designed to move around and things like this. But just in case you want to know, as you can see here in the power settings on the Windows, obviously I've set the exact same sort of details to be, you know, the same if it was plugged in, as it were, to imitate that. So obviously we're going to utilize the full CPU, the RAM, and we're also going to utilize like the hard disk space, and we're also going to utilize that graphics card to its full capacity here. But like I said, what I want to do for you guys is I want to compare both of these in kind of specs, in kind of performance and things like this, what sort of differences we'll actually get. So first of all, what I've decided to do is a lot of you guys use JavaScript out there. So I've done a couple of tests for this. So first of all, what I've decided to do for you, I'm going to do a JavaScript web tooling benchmark. And this is a great tool to use, and we're going to find out the geometric mean and see what the differences are between both of these machines. So after running the test that we've done right here, let's have a look at the scores then in this chart. So the higher the score, the better. So starting out then with the AMD AI9, the 370, the 12-core version was in this Asus, we actually got a score of 25.58. It was very impressive, I must admit. But then the M4 with its 10-core inside of that beating out the 12-core version of that AMD, it actually scored almost double the amount at 48.18. So straight away, just by doing this JavaScript test, this is incredible to see. So we're just doing this JavaScript test right here. This is quite impressive that obviously the MacBook Pro is definitely ahead here than the Asus here with Windows. But let's move on then, and let's have a look then at this SpeedOmeter sort of test what I've done. And again, this kind of test sort of tests out different kind of bits and pieces of web toolings and things like this, different sort of bits and pieces. And let's have a look at the scores that we got here in this chart. Well, the AMD, what that scored was 20.6 on SpeedOmeter 3.0. Was quite impressive, definitely. But the M4 was far better here. Look at this, more than double the amount of score we got. We got 46.1, was absolutely incredible. So with this, what I would be saying, if you're using JavaScript or if you're using sort of web-based sort of programming sort of kind of languages out there, the main sort of ones, then I'd probably actually say that the MacBook Pro is definitely a better buy to get here. But let's move on then, and let's find out about C# sort of programming out there. What about C#? What are we getting there? Well, what I've got here is I've actually got a test, what I'm going to be running on both these machines here, using kind of the terminals on both of these. And what I've actually done done is I've actually got a test what actually creates 30,000 project files and then deletes those 30,000 project files, and this completely rinses out the CPU, as you can see right here. But let's look how long this took us then in a chart to actually complete this test of creating and deleting files or creating and deleting projects 30,000 times on both of these machines. So let's take a look. So we can see here with the AMD, the AI9, with its 12 cores, we actually did this in 169 seconds, this test. And obviously this was rinsing out the CPU up to its absolute maximum here. But the M4, with that 10 core setup, it actually managed to do the test in 158 seconds. So this definitely means that the M4 is definitely faster at C# in the kind of test that I completed today, like I said, in creating 30,000 project files and then deleting them again. This was quite impressive to see that, you know, C#, what a lot of you guys have been native for using on Windows for multiple years out there. I know there's going to be some of you guys here, I've used Linux, I've used, you know, MacBooks in the past, but, you know, primarily, look, so many people have been doing that. But yeah, with ARM technology and things like this, that we're actually getting a better result here on the M4 MacBook Pro. What's actually incredible. But what I wouldn't say is, I wouldn't say it's leaps and bounds ahead here. It is just behind. And as you will see with further tests a little bit later on, that things may actually switch to the AMD chip inside of this and also the Nvidia chip as well, the dedicated graphics. It's going to be quite interesting to see. But after doing this test, what I've decided to do next, so I've decided to do something very similar to the C#. I've decided to do basically the same thing with Python. So I'm running the same edition of Python on both of these machines, and I've done exactly the same thing here. We're creating and deleting sort of project files 30,000 times, and let's have a look then at the difference here, because as you can see right here, we rinsed out the CPU again on these machines. And here, as you can see, AMD has won for the first time. What I will say is, obviously it's not a shockingly ahead here, it's just a little bit ahead, but a win's a win at the end of the day. The AMD AI9 370 with its 12-core setup has managed to do this file compiler for me in 117 seconds, whereas the exact same script, Python script that I ran, did it in 122 seconds. Remember, we've got the exact same amount of RAM inside of both these machines. Obviously, the M4 is unified, you know, with all of that. And then obviously the CPUs are, you know, set up differently to what we've actually got here in the AMD. But still, what's actually happened is the AMD has won here by getting a score or doing everything in 117 seconds, whereas the M4 has done it in 122 seconds. Like I said, it is a victory, but it is just behind here with the M4, so you know, there's not going to be that much difference there. But then some of you guys might be saying, well, Matt, all of those tests you just did there with the C# and Python, well, that also has a big dependency on the hard drive speeds. And I must admit, that does have it, especially that the kind of compiler I've done is creating files, deleting them, you know, writing it quickly backwards and forwards to the SSDs inside of it, the NAND chips or whatever. So what I decided to do is I've decided to do a speed test on these, a disk speed test using Blackmagic. And let's have a look then at the results we've got right here, what I've managed to run on both these machines, and let's have a look at the chart. So with the AMD, with its 1 terabyte drive inside of it, you can see that the read speed was 2,987 on average what I was getting, and comparing that to the M4 1 terabyte, well, believe it or not, that got 3,000 on average. I just got below 3,000 or just above when it was doing the test, and it averaged out around about 3,000. But really, look at that, it is so close in the read speeds to what we actually got here with the AMD. And even with the write speeds, obviously the AMD got a bit more ahead here with its 1 terabyte drive. It got an average of 3,527, you know, with its write speed compared to 3,362. But we're only just a little bit ahead here. We're not like, say, 1,000 sort of megabytes ahead here or megabits ahead here. It's just a little bit ahead. You know, there's not much in it whatsoever. So it is quite interesting to see that obviously doing those kind of coding sort of tests that we just did behind there, obviously that does reflect here in what we have got with the hard drives, that they're very, very similar kind of sort of speeds inside. So that is quite interesting. Something else what is super interesting to know is, we've got the M4 here inside the MacBook Pro, but we also have the M4 Pro and the M4 Max, and the M4 Pro is also available in another device, what is the Mac Mini, like I have right here. And funny enough, I'm giving away this Mac Mini right here with an M4 Pro inside of it to one lucky subscriber on this channel at the end of March time. What we've got in here is the baseline 12-core version. Remember, we've even got 10 cores inside of this MacBook Pro right here, but we've also got inside of this 24 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, and I'm giving this away to one lucky subscriber on this channel at the end of March time, like I said, and you can enter in right now. All you have to do to enter into this giveaway at this stage at the moment is just put down in the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025. This can be Apple related or not, so maybe you're going to get yourself, say, the new Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe you're going to get yourself a new laptop, or maybe you're going to get yourself something Apple related, a new MacBook instead after watching this video. Maybe you're going to get one of these devices. So what I'd love to know is just let me know in the comments below of what you're hoping to get technology-wise in 2025. And do that now. And the other thing I want to quickly say is that there is another part of the giveaway what's going to be happening near the end of March time where I will be making a video. And in that video, there will be a form to fill in for this giveaway too around that time. And also I'll be giving you details of when I'm going to do the live stream for this giveaway as well. And you won't want to miss out on that video. So make sure if you haven't done so already to subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell too. The last thing I just want to quickly say to you guys that sadly there are still lots of scammers and spammers out there. People still impersonating me, telling you to WhatsApp, Telegram, or Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Best to see right here. Please do report them. So with that out of the way, and after doing sort of different bits of coding and things like this, let's talk about AI, and let's also talk about large language models too, and doing tests on this. Now, there is an official kind of machine sort of learning benchmark out there. I call it official. There's a software out there, and that is to do with GeekBench. Now, GeekBench does do your sort of CPU and your GPU, but they can also do tests for machine learning based on your CPU and GPU, what's inside of your machine. So I've downloaded this onto both of these devices, and let's have a look then at the score we've got right here. First of all, doing some machine language bits and pieces using the CPU. And let's have a look then at the scores we've got right here in this chart. So the score we're looking for is the quantized score. And overall, what we got with the AMD with running the machine learning sort of CPU test, we got a score of 3,307 on the AI9 370 from AMD with its 12-core setup. Whereas with the M4, we actually got a score of 6,375. So this definitely shows that Apple is way ahead here. And I think one of the main big reasons behind this is because of the single core performance. Obviously all the cores are working together here, but having that single core sort of kind of performance, and I was checking activity monitor, I could actually see that the M4 was, pushing those CPUs right up to the top. So obviously with having a far faster sort of speed inside of it, I think this is why that score is so much higher than compared to what we got with the AMD. But what happens if I do the exact same test again, but this time tell it to use the GPU? So obviously we've got the M4 GPU inside of this, what's a 10-core setup, but we actually have the RTX 4060 laptop edition, 8 gigabytes of RAM in this Asus ProArt. So let's have a look then at what actually the score we got right here at this chart. Well, you can see that the tables have turned here. With the RTX 4060, it absolutely thrashed that M4. We got a score of 3,307 with the quantized score compared to the M4 with the 10-core setup, what got 2,301. And to be honest, I was kind of expecting this, the kind of enhancements that Nvidia have done over the last sort of 5 years with using sort of more sort of machine sort of learning bits and pieces, their CUDA cores inside of it. This was kind of expected, as it were, with the graphics sort of capabilities that we have inside of that graphics card. So to be honest, I wasn't that surprised. But what I would be saying is that, say if I actually compared this to, say, an M4 Pro, it'd be interesting to see what would happen there. Maybe I might make another video on that soon into the future if you're enjoying this video. So let me know in the comments below if you are enjoying this video at the moment. But let's move on then from this. So the next thing I've decided to do is actually run some large language models on both these devices. And what I've decided to do is run DeepSeek version 3, and we're using LM Studio to do this. And specifically, I'm using DeepSeek version 3 QN7B, and I said to use a maximum of 5,000 tokens on both these machines, but I've also maxed out to use the total amount of GPU cores and CPU cores to do the generation I want to do. And the generation that I've asked both these machines to do is create me a 1,000 word story. And what we want to see is how many tokens per second that both of these devices use. So you can see it running here with no problems whatsoever. And you can also see that obviously the RAM is being utilized here quite a fair bit here to do this sort of machine learning. Having that extra RAM definitely does help out here for doing large language models. And yeah, let's have a look at the results and what we got here with using up to a cap of 5,000 tokens. Well, we can see here with the RTX 4060, because obviously it was using that and it was also using the CPU too, we actually use 32 tokens per second, whereas with the M4, we were using 19.5 tokens per second. And this is absolutely extraordinary, again, that the RTX is way out in front here for this. But like I said, if we compare it to an M4 Pro and M4 Max, what I will be making another video, it'll be interesting to see what actually happens there. And especially with the M4 Ultra coming out in the future, that's going to be interesting too. But let's now run these tests exactly the same thing again, but this time I'm actually going to max out the tokens to the exact top here, as you can see in the range, and let's see what we get here if we ask the exact same thing to write a 1,000 word story, and let's see how many tokens per second that both these devices can do. Well, as you can see here, with no surprises, the RTX 4060 obviously leaped way out in front here. We actually got 58.7 tokens being used compared to 23.6. We are talking over double the amount of tokens, and obviously this was far quicker to create the story, obviously, with using the RTX 4060. So this is super impressive to actually see. And I think we're coming to a conclusion here that at the moment that obviously, even though these machines are both exactly the same price and that a lot of people are favoring towards, say, a MacBook Pro, we've definitely seen that if you want to do things like, I don't know, let's say you want to do sort of media or kind of like websites or things like this, then I'd say the MacBook Pro is definitely a better bet to buy with like JavaScript and things like this. But with C# and Python, really, they are kind of neck and neck, aren't they? I think that's a preference, what you want to choose, that you want to do. Sometimes a little bit faster on one, sometimes a little bit faster on the other. So that was quite interesting to see. But at the moment, Nvidia is definitely the king with AI, if you're definitely using those graphics cores. Now, obviously, if you use the CPU cores to do sort of your large language models and things like this, you know, if you had the same sort of pricing of both of these machines, then I'd be picking the MacBook Pro if you didn't have a dedicated graphics card inside it. But if you do have a dedicated graphics card, and especially if it's an Nvidia, even if it's a 40,000, I know we're getting to the 50,000s about to come out, I would still be picking personally, you know, with that dedicated graphics card, I'd be picking Windows on this situation. But like I said, we'll have to do some more tests in the future comparing the M4 Pro and the M4 Max and ultimately the M4 Ultra too. But do let me know, guys, in the comments below if this video has helped you out, and if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. Also, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.